Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Headphones working. All right, great. Good morning, everyone. My name's T, or Tamim for long. I am one of the core organizers of the Bleeding Edge Summit. Just a quick bit of background. I came out of academia in the UK at the London School of Economics and UCL, where I was running their knowledge transfer labs. And now we're looking to kind of push the boundaries privately in ensuring that we can push academic content from the crypto space in terms of publishing more journals that are very, very crypto focused. We've got an ambitious goal of getting to 10,000 academic publications a year by 2028. And through that, we're going to have a series of conferences, starting off with ETH Denver, Token 2049 Dubai, ETHCC, and Token 2049 in Singapore. Our main aim is to do research for the community, by partnering directly with universities and researchers. I think I'm not going to dive too much into this screen, but we know there's a challenge in the shortage of academic content that's currently available in the crypto sector, which represents about 1% of publications in the space. As a result of this, there is no sort of long-term sustainability in capturing mind share amongst the research community. So we're here to try and kind of solve for that, and I'll share a bit more on how we're going to do that. First and foremost, we're going to be working very closely with some of the Web3 foundations and protocols for them to allocate a bit of their treasury into funding long-term research programs. And then through that, we're going to be conducting 3, 6, 1 to even 3-year engagements with researchers. And then we're going to be publishing the findings in top-tier journals. These are sort of like targets, as I mentioned. We want to hopefully finish the year on 500 papers that have been published, and then grow 5 times with that, 2,500, and then sort of hit 10,000 publications. Now, why does it matter? Once we look at where I kind of want to focus is on the innovation cycle of how industries and sectors are born. There is this innovation S-circle, which many of you might know about. Now, what I want to kind of take you through is like benchmarking across the AI industry. Now, when we look at the first research phase, AI had about 10 years of fundamental research that took place. Academics deep in the basements, nobody kind of knows where they are, and that they haven't really come out and matured the space yet. But this is the body of knowledge that's being built in the very, very early phases of an industry. And you're kind of looking at 10 years for this to kind of mature. Once that body of knowledge has matured, you typically have the research sort of maturing a bit more. And you have conferences like this, where academics and researchers can come and present their findings. Now, what I want to kind of draw your attention to is this chart over here. Just follow this number over here. So in 2022, there were 240,000 odd AI publications. And then of those 240,000 AI publications, about 40,000 of them were presented at academic conferences. And at these conferences, this is where you typically gather investors, other industry sort of collaborators who can then find out what is the latest thinking in that space. And then finally, as that sort of from those conferences, as the body of knowledge has been matured, people have learnt about it, you typically have intellectual property being sort of developed. So out of those numbers, we had 240,000 publications in 2022, of which 40,000 were presented at conferences, of which there were around 62,000 sort of patents came out of it. And then finally, the final phase is the commercialization phase, the application phase. And this gets really kind of interesting when you look at the funnel of how this sort of formed. So in the AI sector, again, 240,000 publications, 40,000 presentations at conferences, 62,000 patents which were invested in, and only 51 of those patents turned out to be commercialized machine learning applications. Now, the reason why I want to draw your attention to these numbers, what do you think this has a similar narrative to? Any quick ideas? Hands up, anyone? No? Okay. Well, I'm sure some of you have guessed. There is a stark comparison to the crypto and the AI space. So if we reverse look at Web3 in 2022, we probably have, I'm being very generous, we've probably had about 50 leading protocols that have been established in the space. We had 5,000 tokens, which, what are they worth? We don't quite know. We had maybe 2,000 presentations, and probably 10,000 academic publications at that point. So what I'd really like to hone in on here is that we've got a burgeoning gap between where academia is and where the industry is. And that's one of the main sort of missions of what we're trying to do at the Bleeding Edge, is over the next 5 years, really push academic research findings and publications into the space where industry can come and pick it up, and you'll find some of the presentations that are going to be on show today to be hopefully addressable at the application and the commercialization layer. So as mentioned, these are the other sessions that we're going to be at. All right, brilliant. We're going to be getting started with the morning's session of events. Can I just ask all the presenters that are on the morning session to kindly come to the front, as we'll be quickly kind of switching over. Thank you very much.